1990, Ian Baker Finch. 1992, Roger Davis. 93, David Diaz. 94, Michael Clayton. 1995, Shane Robinson. 1996, Anthony Painter. 97, Craig Parry. And 1998, Stuart Appleby. Who will win this prestigious event in 1999? The final PGA Tour event of the century. And a very good afternoon, wherever you might be joining us around Australia on ABC Sport or around the world via one of our international television partners. A warm welcome to the Hyatt Regency Resort at Mount Coolum for final day coverage of the 1999 Coolum Classic. Yes, it is the final PGA Tour event of the century, so a chance to be a part of history for the golfers today. $300,000 tournament, including a $54,000 first prize cheque. Not a bad bonus in the lead up to Christmas. And, of course, valuable end-of-year world ranking points. It is down to a 54-hole tournament now because yesterday it was a washout. Good news, though, today, the weather is fine, bright and sunny, and we should get through the 18 holes without a problem. This was what happened yesterday. The bunkers turned into dams. Rivers became lakes and everything else. Have a look at that. That was the scenes less than 24 hours ago here at the course. But today, well, you know what they say about Queensland's weather. Downright putrid one day. Peter Thompson, just beautiful the next. A warm welcome to you. Great to have you back with us, and we're looking forward to this today, aren't we?
Well, it's been a long wait, hasn't it, for us? But significant today is this wind blowing. This is a pretty strong wind, which will add to our interest, not to the golfers. They're not too happy with it, but it means that bad shots will get blown away, I think.
Well, it certainly is a tight leaderboard. Here's how it stood at the completion of Friday's play, the second round, which is now leading into the final round, and it is very tight. A three-way tie at the top. 1997 winner Craig Parry at 7 under the card, alongside of Nick Ahern and Paul Devonport, the Kiwi, starting this final round. Then a group of 5 players at 6 under the card. Adrian Percy, John Sendon, John Wade, Paul Gow and Wayne Smith. And then 4 players at 5 under. The Queenslander Grant Dodd, New Zealand's Michael Campbell, Chad Wright from the United States and Des Tablanche from South Africa. So 12 players within 2 strokes of the lead. And Peter, with the third round being washed out, suddenly a lot of players that perhaps not normally in contention, the likes of Adrian Percy and so on, they are right in the mix, aren't they?
Well, a good round from any of those, say up to 3 strokes behind the lead, could see them win.
Well, earlier today, Peter Wilkins was out on course, catching up with Craig Parry before he teed off. One of our 3 leaders at the moment. Here's Peter Wilkins with Craig Parry.
Craig Parry, 4 rounds, 3 rounds, does it make any difference?
Oh, no, not at all. We all know we've got to go out there today. Today's the final day, and whoever wins, wins.
What are you expecting to find out there by way of conditions?
Well, obviously it's going to be a little bit more wetter than what we had the first 2 rounds, but the golf course dries pretty well, so you know, the wind stays around, the sun out, it'll dry pretty quick.
Did you strike a ball in anger yesterday?
No, nothing yesterday.
No putting in the room?
No, nothing like that. I had the day off.
So the rhythm will be fine, do you think?
Oh, yeah, I mean, we do it, you know, all year, so there's no reason to worry about taking one day off.
He had the day off yesterday. There was a great photo of him in the newspaper feeding the swans.
Yes, well, I think they welcome a day off, frankly. They've played so many days of the year.
He has to be our favourite, would he not, entering into this final round?
Well, he's the most experienced of that lot. I like the look of Nick Ahern. He's been knocking at the door recently, the last 3 or 4 weeks, and he may give Parry a rough day today.
Well, they teed off earlier today. Let's check the leading group. Teeing off on the first hole here at the 1999 Coolum Classic at the final round coverage. The final group playing today, Craig Parry, Paul Devonport and Nick Ahern. And this is Nick Ahern, who had the honour, the 28-year-old from Perth. 4 top 10 finishes in a row, Peter, which suggests that he's ready to break through. Tied for 8th at the Ford Open, 2nd at the Australian Open with Greg Norman, 7th at the Players' Championship and 3rd at the PGA Championship last week. So that's why we expect him to be around today with rounds of 71 and 66 so far.
One of the few left-handers in the field. Now, this is an opening hole with 361 metres, and the wind, well, helping a little bit, blowing from the right to the left, blowing the ball away from the water hazard. Now, that's perfectly safe. Nice, gentle swing.
Paul Devonport, the New Zealander, was second up in this group. The 33-year-old had a hole-in-one on the 14th on Friday, the 9th hole-in-one of his career, but he has received no prizes for it. He's missed the cut in 5 PGA tournaments this year by 1 stroke, each time. A good result last year at the Coolum Classic, tied for 7th.
Big, strong fella. I think that's... Oh, no, did it run too far?
Yes.
I think it did.
And Craig Parry, the last man to tee off, the 33-year-old, who's lived in Sydney for the last 12 years, won this tournament in 1997, has already won a PGA tournament this year at the Ford Open, was tied for 3rd at the PGA Championship last week behind Shane Tate, who was 2nd, and Greg Turner, the New Zealander, who won. This is Parry teeing off earlier today.
Very neat. He repeats that each time he tees off. Now that's a little bit off centre, but it'll do him no harm.
So that's how they teed off earlier today, and Craig Parry, Nick Ahern went on to par the hole. Paul Devonport, though, the New Zealander, unfortunately with a bad start, with a bogey to start, and that's not what he wanted, I guess, for his confidence either, Paul Devonport.
No, he's a little bit wobbly with confidence. He told us yesterday if his putting's good, his driving's bad, and if his driving's good, his putting goes off, so he's in the horrors. Well,
it should be a great day today. The final round of the final PGA tournament of the century. Let's rejoin that group now, and we start with Craig Parry on the 8th hole, and it's a good afternoon downstairs to Jim Maxwell, and Peter and myself will join him in the commentary hut shortly.
At the par 5 8th, and the group that includes Craig Parry with Nick Ahern and Paul Devonport, and that's the unmistakable practice swing of Nick Ahern, and a hole that they've got a chance of getting pretty close to in 2 today with that breeze.
I think it's easily reached, and they've actually had to wait on the tee because 493 metres is not such a long hole these days. Par 5, of course, but wind helping. Now that's disappeared under the little hill of the fairway there. Beautifully green after the rain yesterday. Very attractive bit of real estate now. Cooler, this Hyatt Coolum course. Paul Devonport. Now there's some trouble ahead for this tee shot. There's a bit of water on the left there in all those mangroves. These players know how to keep out of trouble. That's one of the arts of and crafts of professional golf, keeping yourself out of trouble. Now Parry had a bad start. He's dropped a shot already to this point. Yeah, they applauded that. He gave that heaps. Oh, that's a good one. Settle down because perilously near a bit of swamp there, but he's high and dry. And we look up toward the green. That's what's ahead of him, way up there.
So beautiful conditions today. It's brought everyone out after almost 2 inches of rain on the course yesterday. Absolutely saturated it, but it's drying out quickly. There you can see the cluster of accommodation around the Hyatt Coolum Resort. A beautiful spot to bring the family for a break, which a number of the players are doing over the course of this weekend. And they had a nice day of furlough on Saturday with the rain coming down. And that's the current position. John Sendon and Nick Ahern, 2 strokes out in front, with John Sendon having a very good round so far today. He's picked up a couple of strokes, but a good bunch behind them, and there's every chance, the way this is panning out, of us getting to a playoff situation perhaps at the end of this 3rd round. Looking back up from the 8th green, and the wonderful bushland that surrounds this Coolum course.
Interesting, Jim, there we see the volunteers carrying ropes. That's an unusual sight these days. Most courses are roped off before the event ever starts. But this is a nice way to do it. There's not such a big crowd here, and they're very happy to follow down the fairway, if you note. This is the way it used to be done years ago. Nice to get right behind your player if you're really following him, because you see what's ahead the way he sees it, as against standing off to the side along the fairway edge.
Playing. Weren't people as conscious of it? They just just copped it. They just got burnt and went on with it.
Very few people wore hats in my time. I'm suffering a little bit now from sunspots on my face, but it was common to go hatless even up to the 70s. Now those two standing back there, so it would be Nick Ahern, I guess, to hit first.
Gets swallowed up in one of those undulations in the fairway.
There he is, looking at the notes. The caddy is, anyway.
You can't actually see the position of his ball, but there it is. Perfect spot now. Now that looks reasonably flat.
All right, the green is occupied, so they have time to contemplate. Now he's within easy reach of that green. The camera is foreshortening that distance. It'd be more than 200 meters, I think, from the green there. But with his wind helping, that's easily made with even an iron. Now he's a very astute player. We'll come back to him in a minute as we look from the green back there to the fairway. Nick Ahern, not an especially elegant swinger. Not that that means a lot.
Going over to the 9th, Grant Dodd, who today is 1 under for this round, 6 under overall. And Peter Wilkins is down there following this group. Wilco.
Yes, Jim. Good afternoon. This group has the distinction, I think you'll find, of the individual members leading the tournament at one stage or other, Grant Dodd included, and he's got 156 metres to the pin, the wind really hustling in behind him.
Looks like a wedge there. Amazing he can hit that 156 metres with a wedge shot.
He's hit that pretty well into the heart of the green, a little bit short though, so a bit of work to do there. Wayne Smith, he has led the tournament today at one stage, but he's dropped back, although he did birdie the 8th hole. And we're about to see the second shot of John Sendon, who was the leader after the first round. And he's birdied the 2nd, the 4th, and the 7th holes today. Drained one from long range on the 2nd hole. Got a good angle into the flag.
Pulled that left.
It's come back in on the breeze, Peter, and ended up quite handy, I think.
It has.
Back to Nick Ahern now on the 8th with his second shot. Can you have too long to think about it, Peter?
Sometimes you do. I did suggest he might have used an iron, but he's chosen, as you see, the fairway metal. Might be the very lofted one he carries, which is about equivalent to a 2-iron. Now we just look at this lift back he indulges in. Nice and high, should stop quickly. Well, it didn't make it. He would have been better off with a lower flight, but perhaps the lie determined that his ball would go high.
Well, he wasn't as long off the tee as Paul Devonport and Craig Parry, who've really got a good shot at this green now with their irons.
Well, you can tell by the facial reaction sometimes. Not to his satisfaction, but not too bad.
Still a chance of a 4, maybe a 3.
And now Craig Parry, 1 over today through his opening 7 holes to be 2 behind our leaders John Sendon and playing partner Nick Ahern.
Oh, that's straight at it, and a little unlucky there. You hit the downslope of that shoulder and sent him too far.
Now, and Grant Dodd.
I don't know what he was looking for in the cup there.
So the Queenslander currently at 6 under.
Well, the greens are certainly very soft today after that tremendous rain yesterday. In the measurement of inches, I think it was about 1.5 or more.
I think it exceeded that towards the end of the day.
So the greens are obviously soft, but I think they've been able to cut them nicely, so the speed will be there, the usual speed. Used to be said years ago that anybody could putt on fast greens, but it took a really good putter to putt on slow ones. There's a lot of truth in that. But we don't see slow greens anymore. Well, he misjudged that, judging it to be a bit quicker than it was. Wayne Smith, been around a comparatively long time, but I always think of the fact that he did spend some years in the United States playing collegiate golf, and I think that's where he learned the craft. Invited because he was a very talented youngster, teenager.
Back to Nick Ahern at the 8th.
Well, he had to really negotiate that, and he did it very well. I think he should get a clap for that. Very cleverly done.
Peter Wilkins is analysing the line of the putt for John Sendon.
Yes, Jim, tricky little one into the breeze. It's going to break down to the water fractionally, but I think it might straighten up a tad when it gets closer to the hole. Just for a birdie. Just allowed a bit too much, but that's a rock solid par to keep him at 8 under par.
And a share of the lead. Now, I don't know that he's very often in the situation of leading. We'll see how he goes about it.
Paul Devonport from off the green at the 8th.
Ooh, look at that go.
Tidying up for Grant Dodd for par.
Now looking down our leaderboard, which is not shown, but Robbie Willis is 3 under par after 11 holes today.
And Craig Jones and Brett Ogle.
So there's some good scoring out there.
Well, that's one dropped.
So those long putters, Jim, are not by any means infallible, are they? I see just as many putts missed with the long shaft as I do with the short one.
Yes, it's interesting to reflect on the top players in the world. How many of them use those weapons?
Not many. Now, Parry was renowned. I see he was featured in one of the magazines recently as the master of the short game, but really recently, last few weeks, and he'll forget the British Open, where his short game really let him down. That's near enough for a birdie. Yeah, we might have been looking at the British Open champion here today had he been a little sharper with the chipping. And
Nick Ahern, this is a birdie chance for him to take the outright lead. Must be a dream for the golf club manufacturers to see a few left-handers coming through, Peter.
You with that commercial mind. Yeah, well, it is said that 17% of us are left-handed naturally. I don't know whether that's right. Is it right in cricket? 17%?
A lot more left-handed batsmen than left-handed golfers, I think.
Yeah, but you can be right-handed and play cricket left-handed. Now, he doesn't often miss, though. That's the real strength of his game, that holding putts. That's a par, though, no damage done, but really you're dropping a stroke to the field here if you don't get a 4.
Now, John Sendon on 10th. The gallery seems happy with that. Not too much of a reaction from John. 2 under through the opening 9 holes today to be in a share with the lead with Nick Ahern. Watch Paul Devonport with that birdie putt.
Well, 5 is not so easy to get here on this par 5 8th. There's 2 of them missed out.
Now this will take Craig Parry back to where he started the day at 7 under.
Very solid 4, that. Good second shot.
Peter Thompson, take us over this 9th hole at the beautiful Mount Coolum Resort.
Right, where's the 9th is 360 metres, and as you can see, there's more water than fairway. But it's playing downwind. That bunker on the left of the fairway has to be dodged, and then from there in it's just this morning a 9 iron or a wedge. Nice little right-hand section of the green, which is where the flag is today, right there. Not so easy to get at. 360 metres, and there's the stats for today. 4 birdies thus far, and 2 people have had bogeys, so there we are. Averaging 3.92. Not an especially difficult hole as it shows. And we look down on the green. Now the group of John Wade, Paul Gowan, Adrian Percy. Signs of the wet pool in the bunker there, just past the flag. Yesterday, all the bunkers were full of water for quite a period before it all subsided and drained away. Now, shall we chip or putt? That's the decision they have to make. Flag out. I think that's very sensible. Flag is more likely to keep the ball out than to put it in. But it's not their shot. Now, the man on the green is the one to play first, and he may want the flag in. And that'll be John Wade. He was in the same range as Grant Dodd, who three-putted just before him in the group ahead. That's all the way there. Not quite.
And back to the tee on the 9th. Craig Parry. Winner here back in 1997, looking to become the first player to win 2 Coolum Classics. This is the 9th year of the tournament.
Nice drive right down the middle. Now Ahern next. Now that's not his driver. He's not after length, he's after accuracy. And he got it.
Now, the group of Wade, Gow and Percy. This is Paul Gow with a birdie putt. Currently 1 over today to be 5 under for the tournament, so an important one for him here. Oh, he got it. He had plenty on it. So Paul Gow moves to 6 under, and he's quite happy with that. He had an eventful second round, and he's in it here.
Peter Wilkins back down following the group at the 10th. Wayne Smith playing his second shot. That was off tape, and this is John Sendon second. Peter.
About 158 from the pin, the wind into the face, 5 iron. And it's on the front edge. It's a pretty good shot in the conditions because the breeze really coming on strong. He's left himself from this distance, so I'd say about 30 feet for birdie. John Wade to complete his par at the 9th. Does so. Will remain at 7 under. 1 under through his opening 9 holes today. 1 behind our leaders.
Now the 10th tee. Clubhouse just at the rear. And they drive out into the wind, across some water. This is Paul Gow. The birdie man from the 9th is first up. That's the target, right in the middle of the fairway. There's our clubhouse at the back.
Now Nick Ahern with his approach to the green at the 9th. See that breeze picking up.
Little roof full there. Paul Devonport now, having watched those other, well, that shot and the way the wind didn't take it, he'll play a lot straighter. That should be online.
Now Adrian Percy with his tee shot on the 10th, the 28-year-old from South Australia, has no coach. He said during the press conference this week he takes the advice from failed pro but brother-in-law Willie Roberts. He's doing pretty well. That's 6 under.
Now Parry, now he's aiming to the middle of the green, the flag over on the right edge. Perhaps the wind will help drift him in there. Giving it a little bit of side spin. Just a fraction too far, but he may easily hold that.
John Wade with a steely look in his eye.
John Sendon up in this group.
That's Wayne Smith, first to putt.
Just to give him a share of the lead.
Oh, a little bit too careful, wasn't he? Really didn't give it a rap there. It was a very slow stroke. Not enough power. Now this is the second putt for Grant Dodd. This should be for his par. It's even par today, it's still at 5 under and 3 behind the lead.
And this man has a share of the lead, John Sendon.
He doesn't play the main circuits, as I observe. He's really a traveller through Asia and I don't know where else, but we read about him sometimes winning things, but in odd places.
Now, Nick Ahern back on the 9th has this long putt for birdie.
Very careful putt, that. I think when one gets into the lead, certain things come into the play, like his second shot to the, I think, to the middle of the green, and then a putt which was more careful than ambitious. I was just thinking this 3 last out in the field.
Paul Gower with his second shot to the 10th.
Parry. The 3 players here on this final group. 2 of them need the money. No wonder if Parry does. He must have won well in excess of $1 million this year. That might go in. No. Putts don't often turn toward the back of the green. But generally speaking, greens slope from the back to the front. So that one did. It turned left. The great convention of crows somewhere.
Paul Devonport now. A birdie putt to get him back square today. And 7 under for the tournament. 1 from the lead.
Good try.
Now we look at these second shots at the 10th. And this is John Wade. Into the wind here, 10. That's a good shot.
Good chance.
Nick Ahern completes his par. So 8 under for the tournament, 1 under today. As we have a look at the group making their way up the 10th, Adrian Percy, Paul Gower and John Wade. Forecast of some late thunderstorms here at Coolum today, but looking all right at the moment as we move to John Sendon on the 11th tee. And this is a beautiful hole.
It looks beautiful because they look down on the green, and there's that beautiful pond there on the right side of it.
Peter Wilkins is following this group. What was that off the tee, Wilco?
7-iron Jim with the breeze behind. Magnificent hole, and he responded with a terrific shot to Wayne Smith. Not happy with his, but send it. Another birdie chance.
Back to the 10th. Lots of soft landings today. Quite a few parts of these fairways were pretty damp at the start of the day, but certainly not very much run there.
He normally gives just 1 ball back, but he made 3 there. I wonder if the pressure's getting to him.
There's been a lot of talk about him, Peter, hasn't there, about the fact that he's about to break through, you would assume. So maybe he's beginning to feel it on the back 9. Let's have a look at this. The view from above on this 10th hole. We'll wait for Paul Devonport, though, about to tee off.
Nice applause there. Good shot. Well, here's the area, as we say, and there's the task for the players to drive across that little bit of water there into a very generous fairway with no bunker really bothering them, and then nothing in front of the green. The gate open in front, bunkers at the rear. But let's see the stats, because this shouldn't be a very difficult hole today. There we are. It's averaging just over its par, 4.17. 4 birdies. Most people getting par, 38 of them. Just 11 people made a mistake here. 379 metres of it. And here we are looking at the green. Gow first.
He's 2 off the pace. Still a very crowded leaderboard.
Not a lot of slope on this green, but this will be just gently downhill.
You needed your advice earlier there.
I don't think he really knew much about that putt. I think he played for 2 putts, frankly.
Now, Adrian Percy just off the green. Even today, to be 6 under overall as he started this 3rd and final round. Now this is for par, so understatement to say he needs to get this one close, if not in.
At the 11th green, Wayne Smith for a birdie. And a chance of getting up in the lead. Well, still some tidying up to do for par.
Well, in case you're confused, John Sendon, who's playing behind this group's already played onto the green, but this is a call-up hole. The tournament field staff trying to keep the play flowing in case there's a storm later. We want to get this round finished in plenty of time before any trouble comes. Hence the playing up or calling up on the par 3s. Well, people moving at the rear, just distracting the putter. Now we just see the cup in the edge of the screen. That might do it. No. Dodd was prominent at Royal Queensland, wasn't he, a couple of weeks back?
He's finished in 10th place there. Also had a good one at the Australian Open, finishing in a tie for 24th. John Wade now with a birdie putt at 10. This for a share of the lead.
We'll go back to John Sendon here, sharing the lead, and this would give him a 2. But that will be certainly a 3, so he'll stay at 8 under. That's tied with Nick Ahern. Smith and Parry and Wade, one behind that. So I don't know who to bet, back at this point. I think there's about 10 people can win from here in.
Back live to Craig Parry.
Peter Wilkins is down there following Parry. He had to take relief there, Peter, from casual water.
Well, Jimmy was thinking about it. He's played a good shot into the heart of the green with a 4-iron from about 163 metres, but he elected, I think, just to maintain his ground when he found the surrounding areas were much the same. It wasn't bad. If pressed, he probably could have taken relief. But the other two have hit A1 drives, Nick Ahern and Paul Devonport. Parry's been driving superbly today. Nick Ahern about 8 metres in front of him, and he might be thinking 5-iron, or that the breeze gusting up, and it's providing a few difficult choices for the players.
Where is it? Straight into them, the breeze?
Straight into them, a bit over the right shoulder. He's hit a sweet shot. It just wants to hold up. And just off the cut edge to the left, I think. Faded a bit on the breeze.
Well, he's got the good short game at the moment, as we've seen in the last few weeks. Paul Devonport, after hitting the rocket drive.
He had 5-iron, but he's pulled that a little bit. And that might be, well, it's even short of the sand, I think, so I'd be disappointed with that.
Now let's look at this 11th hole from on high. 2 sets of tees. We're looking at the championship tee, which is higher, and there's the target. Now, if you're a fellow with a slice or a lady with a slice, this wouldn't be your favourite hole, would it? Because that yawning great lake there waiting for the ball. I'd use an old ball on this tee if I had a slice. Averaging 3.25. Now that's well over its par. Not too many birdies today, 8. Flag today near the water on the right.
John Wade on that 11th tee. The breeze having swung round from the second round when it was right to left. I think that breeze will be assisting them a little bit.
Safe. You'd say safe. And very wise, too. I don't think there's a lot of percentage in trying to hit stiff to the flag here. Too many imponderables, and that wind is not easy to read.
Now the South Australian, Adrian Percy. A birdie here on Friday in the second round. All sorts of facial expressions. He should be pretty happy.
Oh, and look at that other one. Oh, now whose is that now?
Let's have a look at that.
Off tape from a short time ago. Paul Gow.
Now, how near does it go to that cup? Oh, very near. Paul Devonport.
Not much green to aim for, so he's somewhat surprisingly taken the putter. That's useful. Could go in.
Lovely touch. Keeps him in contention.
Okay, we'll be back to that shortly. If this is the 12th tee, and John Sendon. And 12 is a par 5. But a lot of trouble. Narrow fairway, unplayables, and that could easily be one of them.
That doesn't look at all good. Hopefully it dropped favourably, but looked well in.
Wayne Smith exercising some caution. Really is a very, very narrow fairway, this, and death either side.
That's Craig Parry back at the 10th. He'll have that for a par. And now he will putt out, and then a chance for Nick O'Hearn. Par for Parry. Nick O'Hearn had a 66 on Friday. Best round, equal best round of the tournament so far.
No. Well, it's long enough to give him a little bit of worry. Right. Well, you'd have to give him that in a friendly game.
Very friendly.
Interesting about his setup with this putter, the head of the club is really ahead of his hands as he addresses the ball. Quite unusual, that. Might be something I'll try.
Provisional for Sendon. He used his Pittsburgh persimmon for the first one, and that's a very safe iron for his. Could be playing 4 from there if he can't find his tee shot.
Birdie putt for John Wade on the 11th.
They're all staggering towards the hole today.
Refusing to drop.
He's not giving up too many birdies.
Beautiful sight from above here at the Hyatt Resort at Coolum, where you can do all manner of things. Jim, you've had your family up here all week.
Yes, they're not playing golf, but there's plenty of other things to do. Lots of pools to dive in. That's not one of them. But there are some beauties around the place.
Plenty more to do. Archery, shooting, canoeing, bit of surfing out on the beach.
Go for a walk in the rainforest. Yesterday with your umbrella.
Gee, it was wet, wasn't it? That's how it stands at the moment. John Sendon and Nick O'Hearn as we head to the final 9 holes of the last PGA tournament of the century. Smith, Parry, Wade, just 1 shot behind. And then a group of players at 6 under, headed by Rob Willis, the 37-year-old from New South Wales. This is Paul Gow on the 11th. After that fine tee shot, this for birdie to get him within 1 of the lead.
He clattered one in at the 9th.
Well, he said this week he will win at some stage this tour. He was hopeful that it would be this weekend.
Well, we're jumping ahead here now to the 14th. The other par 3 on the inward 9. And this is David Grenfell from Queensland. He's playing with Rob Willis, whom we want to see.
Grenfell is 5 under overall, 2 under today.
Now, as you can see, this is a really sharp hole, this, with water down the left side as the players look at it. A replica, this, of the 16th at Augusta.
Would you believe, Peter, there was a wedding up here on the tee recently?
Oh, was there? Oh, that's pretty special.
I don't know whether they called the groups to play through or not.
Now, this is Robbie Willis.
The former editor of Golf Australia. He's got one of the best rounds going today. 3 under, 6 under overall.
That's a good shot. As you see, it curls around with the slope, just as the 16th green at Augusta does. You can see the wind blowing the trees. It's quite windy here today. There's wind coming from their right, helping really. Now Craig Jones. That's going a lot straighter. At 2. Very fine shots there.
Nick Ahern with his tee shot on the 11th. A 171-metre par 3. Currently in a tie for the lead with John Sendon. Oh. And a chance for the outright lead coming up.
Well, from where he stands, that must look absolutely stone dead there. Now, the misfortunes of Sendon, he did find his first tee shot, and he's able to play it. The provisional, of course, was for a lost ball.
So happy.
Well, he wants another club.
Paul Devonport with his tee shot. Can he match Nick Ahern? Not quite.
It's the favourite bailout position when the breeze is coming across the green. Just drops away into a swale there.
Now, what's Sendon doing? He's changing clubs.
He's done well to find his ball.
Well, there's a lot of helpers there. There's a spotter. That little chair there is where the spotter sits. Now, they're still a bit mystified. Perhaps it wasn't his ball.
Wayne Smith is over there helping out. I hope he hasn't seen the Blair Witch Project, Jimmy. Might get a little scared.
Well, this is pretty serious for a leader.
Oh. Yeah.
He could blow it all here.
Well, he's taking relief. So he's playing 3. Here it is.
No. Yes.
Where's the trouble? He's there on the left. It drops down, doesn't it, as we...
Yes.
Downwind, you can get in a very good position, but the winds are slightly across today.
As usual, it averages well over its par, this one. There's a lot of trouble.
So he's playing 3. Must have been a totally unplayable position for his second. So he's on the fairway for 3.
That's very serious for a leader, as I said.
Peter Wilkins is down there.
Yes, Jim, well, after all that fun in the scrub on the left. He's still got a lot of work to do, and the breeze has just picked up about 10 knots in the last 30 seconds. He's hit it strongly, though. A bit of anger in there, I think.
There won't be too many getting home in 2 on this trickily placed green today. That breeze coming right across the fairway, Peter.
You just repeat that, Jim. It blew your sound away.
Yes, well, it must be getting stronger, as you mentioned. Where's that breeze coming from out on that hole?
Well, one moment it seems to be attacking the right shoulder as you face the green, and the next moment there's a bit of a gust from the other way. So it's almost directly into your left shoulder as you face the hole.
We're going back to Craig Parry at the 11th.
Hit very soft. Didn't give him that little bounce he hoped for.
And Rob Willis, who has this wonderful round going today, 3 under.
Now putting at the 11th. Devonport is putting, but he missed the green to the left with his tee shot. Now this is as near as he got. Now that's not a good shot. This is for 3. So that's a stroke dropped.
Paul Gower with his tee shot at the 12th.
That was a nice bounce. That was 4. A stroke dropped by Devonport.
Back to the 12th we go. John Wade. His supporters liked it, and why not?
It's Craig Jones for a birdie at the 14th. Oh, precipitous and in. Now that helps. That keeps him in range.
Here's a desperate putt for a par 3 for Parry at 11. Oh, there's another one. Looked like it had missed.
Got the short game going again.
Well, it wasn't too good. That's a chip shot.
No. A good save. And he stays 1 behind Sendon and O'Hearn, but O'Hearn could be in the lead on his own shortly.
And here he is. Sorry, that's Grant Dodd. Now he's got a pitch here of about 50 or 60 meters. Looks like the sand iron he's got out. Tossing it right up high. It should stop immediately. And it does. Pretty good effort for Dodd.
Now, Nick O'Hearn for the outright lead. Not quite. He will remain at 8 under.
Another pitch into the 12th green. Wayne Smith a chance to get in close. Very good. Look at that. Lovely control. Sendon to play his 5th after finding the trees with his tee shot. He had to take an unplayable. Chipped out in the fairway for 3. He's here for 4. Needs to get it up and down for bogey. And a good chance of doing that. Lovely little recovery shot. 2 for birdie, 1 for bogey. Very good. Take the birdie. Dodd to 7 under. Wayne Smith with this putt for a share of the lead. Peter Wilkins has been down the 12th in the trees with John Sendon. What's the report, Wilco?
A pretty interesting day, Wayne Smith. Birdies at 2 and 3, bogeys at 4 and 5, and another birdie on the way in. This would be handy for him, wouldn't it?
Work.
Beautifully holed. Variety of putters and grips.
Man here at this 13th. Not taking driver. Water on the left, bunker on the right. He's going to stay short of the bunker, I would guess. Well, he didn't, but he's about level with it. Been in this situation countless times. He knows exactly what to do from here in. Very majestic rock, that, isn't it? Just standing up there on guard. Mount Coolum. Well, he's not taking any chances, Jim. He's got the iron out.
Somewhere between the sand position down there. That's a beautiful tee shot. It's worth smiling about it. Just like to hole a few more putts today. So would a few of the other players.
And now Paul Devonport. 2 over today to drop back to 5 under for the tournament, similar to Nick O'Hearn. With his tee shot there.
He dropped a stroke on that previous hole, no doubt. Drove into the trees. Michael Campbell here at the 15th. That's not on target. It was out in the wind and it didn't drift back. Now that was his 3rd. This is a par 5.
Well, it's been an interesting day for John Sendon, and now he needs this for par at 14. Oh, that did a lap of honour. It's a sigh of relief. Wayne Smith. This for the outright lead of the tournament.
What a beautiful shot it was, this tee shot. Just as he planned it, came off.
His best result so far this year, Wayne Smith, a tie for 19th at the Players' Championship.
Unusual putter. Mind you, there's no end to the putters, is there? Something new comes out every week.
What a wasted opportunity, and he knows it.
I think you might be able to acquire that putter tomorrow, even late this afternoon. He might be giving it away. Birdie putt for Paul Gow. Oh dear. Well, we've seen so many putts missed. I don't know. There's nothing very difficult about the green. It's maybe they're all getting a bit tense or something.
What title you got, Dave?
That was off tape. Here he is now. Live action on the 14th. And he said earlier this week that he was very nervous after that second round on Friday at the 13th and the 14th. And he was trying to eliminate those nervous patches in his game for this weekend. Yesterday, a washout, no play. Today, back at the 14th now. And he is within 2 of the lead.
Mind you, this is a scary hole for anyone that's not quite in command of what they're doing. You fear that you're going to pull it left and therefore you block it way to the right. Oh dear. Hold on. Well, he's lucky. Wasn't a good shot. It could have ended up a lot worse than that. John Wade. The main thing to do is not speed up here. You've got to really keep your rhythm. Because speeding up will pull it to the left. Wind from the right, blowing toward that water. Stay smooth now. Oh, what a good shot. Nearly hit the flagstick.
Peter Wilkins is following the group on the 13th with Nick Ahern.
137 from the pin. Breeze across. He's probably hit 9, maybe 8 in. And he's hit a very good shot. He'll have a putt for birdie there.
Paul Davenport, one near the pin for 2.
Parry's bombed one down here. He got a good kick off the bank too. It's one of the signature holes on the course. This 13th with water on the left off the tee and to the right at the green and a thin neck of land. And Parry's got about 122 metres to the pin with the breeze again across his right shoulder and fractionally behind too.
Peter, he's going to drop out of what is obviously casual water.
Yeah.
The water's got to be visible though.
Well, he did go through the motions on the 10th hole to do exactly that and then elected to play from the same spot. So he's been given a bit of relief here. Surprisingly, the course is in magnificent condition considering the amount of rain that fell yesterday. It's drained away really well, and the greens particularly are just immaculate.
There's what's ahead of him. Nothing really on his line that could bother him. Just got to find the right length with this shot. And he's pretty good at that. Good judge of distance. Just aiming his body to the middle of the green. That
Looks good.
Typical parry shot and a good result.
Back to the par 3 14th now. Wonderful view. A terrific hole, and that's the view from above. 186-metre par 3. A tee tucked among the trees over the creek that runs through the middle. And as you said earlier, Peter, you don't want to go too far left. Paul Gow just about finding the creek. But a nice sized green. And the bunker behind the green, you don't want to go too deep. That's the view from behind at this picturesque course, and playing very close to par today, averaging slightly over 8 bogeys alongside of 6 birdies, but predominantly pars today on the 14th. And the group of John Wade, Paul Gow and Adrian Percy are up on the green. We're going to watch Paul Gow first, though, very close to finding that water. He's currently among that group at 6 under, as you can see on the 3rd line of the leaderboard. Smith, Parry, O'Hearn at 8 under, then Willis and Wade 1 stroke behind, and now Paul Gow with his 2nd here, hoping to try and remain at 6 under to stay in contention on this final day. Hope you're enjoying our coverage through ABC Sport around Australia and around the world via the Golf Channel, Sky throughout New Zealand, no doubt barracking for Paul Devonport and Michael Campbell, and through TWI as well internationally. That's how it sits for Paul Gow.
Just as well it did sit too. Maybe that overnight, that heavy rain yesterday has helped him stay alive.
2 unusual things here this week. One is the bird noises, which we can assure you are real. And the other is that, as we show you from time to time, that people walk on the fairway here. They don't walk down the sides. Anyway, this is a little attempt at a birdie. As a bird, a swan just sails by behind him there.
Spectator staying behind him.
Black swan, indigenous to Australia. Nice shot. Yes, that must be a very unusual sound in Japan, say, where, of course, there are hardly any birds left at all.
Apparently, their commentary is being translated, so it mightn't come out as the same way in Japan.
Oh. Now, what bird's that, Jim? You should know your birds. Crow, a common crow, isn't it?
Well,
No?
I don't think so.
One of those water hens.
The ibis. Yes, they don't make too much noise.
Now, this putt would be downhill. This is Adrian Percy. Just a gentle touch and it'll roll all the way down that slope. Very near.
Percy tapping for par. He's 3 off the lead. Thirteen players within 3 of the lead.
And now Craig Parry back at the 13th. This a birdie putt for the outright lead.
Beautiful.
Craig Parry takes the lead.
Looks like it's Christmas again at Coolum for Craig Parry.
He certainly loves coming here. Back to the 14th now. John Wade.
Oh, that's
Not
unlucky.
quite for the Victoria.
He's done that a couple of times in the last few holes. He's had 3 or 4 birdie chances, and he hit a very good putt there. Unlucky.
Well, the hole just behind. There's Nick Ahern for a par. He missed a good birdie opportunity there. That he had quite a holeable putt.
Now Paul Gow for his par at 14. He stays at 6 under, 3 behind Craig Parry.
That was an easy tap-in birdie for Paul Devonport, who put his second to the 13th almost stone dead. But he's 4 off the lead. Craig Parry on his own in front, having started the day at 7 under, went back to 6 under through the front 9. So he's picked up 3 strokes on the back 9.
Well, this looks like a better finish than he's pulled off recently. I keep thinking of that British Open of his where he really was bowling along and I thought about to win. And he hit the hurdle at the 12th, dropped 2 shots, a 6, and then I think he thought he'd lost it altogether because by the 17th he was back in it again, and darn if he didn't make a mess of that one. So he sort of twice threw it away. Well, not threw it away, but twice messed it up. And then he only lost by 1.
It was a remarkable tournament, wasn't it? With,
It was so.
Paul Lawrie. Everyone was saying, who? Paul Lawrie winning it, carving out a place for himself in history.
Now, we've described this shot a few times, so we won't go through it again. But here's a fellow that can really exude calmness in a situation like this. That's safety in length.
Wayne Smith now with his second shot on the 15th. 1 behind Craig Parry. Left himself with a short chip there as we go back to the 14th and Paul Devonport.
His hole-in-one hole on Friday.
Well, the round today so far has come from Rob Willis. This is for a birdie at the 17th, currently 4 under today. This to move in to a tie for second. He will stay at 7 under.
Nick Ahern. I don't know that this especially favours left-handers. Again, about the same length as Parry, and there's really safety in length here. All the dangers in being short.
We're off to the 15th, and we're watching John Senden, but in this group, Grant Dodd's had some problems, and we might find out from Peter Wilkins what's happening down there with this group. We've seen Smith and Sendon. We'll just check the leaderboard and then to find out what happened to Grant Dodd on that hole. There's Dodd at the moment, 6 under, 3 off the lead, which Craig Parry, a former winner of the Coolum Classic, is enjoying at the moment. And he's playing very well. Wayne Smith, Nick Ahern, they just need to hole up a few putts on the last couple of holes, perhaps to keep up there with Parry and maybe even force a playoff. Rob Willis having the round of the day, 4 under. Very nearly 5, just missing that birdie putt at 17. Crowd gathering down the 14th, across the bridge and around to the green there. This is one of the more picturesque holes on this magnificent course at Coolum. And there's Craig Parry wandering up towards the green, having hit a very good tee shot. It's a pleasure to welcome Bob Shearer, who's fresh from the course, and a very distinguished round today. Got it to 3 under, finished 2.
Finished 2, Jim, yes. Bogeyed the 9th hole, which was my last hole, which is not a very nice thing to do, but I didn't hit a very good second shot, so that's the way it goes.
You got up again very early, didn't you?
I did. I'm glad to go home so I can have a sleep in.
Right. Now, Bob, we've been watching these holes coming in here that we've seen so many holeable putts missed. Why do you think that is?
Well, I found the greens probably a little bit slower today than they have been, obviously from all the rain.
Mm-hmm. So you think that's really just putting them on off balance a bit?
Yeah, maybe they're not breaking quite as much either.
Mm.
Well, that's a good one from Nick Ahern there. Wayne Smith's 3rd shot, playing a true par 5 today. Oh, that's a beauty.
That should help. That's Parry from just off the back edge there. I've been describing this hole as a replica of the 16th at Augusta, Bob.
Not far away from it, Peter. I would think this is probably, well, I know this one's a bit longer and just as easy to hit it in the water, I think, as well.
Well, it's the same theme, isn't it?
Yes.
That water down the left edge of the green, bunker high at the back, and the green sloping generally from, well, towards the water. Caddy ready to whip that flag out of the cup as the putt rolls down, and away it goes to the low side. So it's amazing, Bob, isn't it? The players are now so used to that speed, which is the same really every week, and then a little bit of a change in the pace of the green, and they're all a little bit upset.
Yeah, it's we've got Paul Davenport here. Got the Bernard Langer grip, or the old Bernard Langer grip,
if you can call it a grip.
It's wandering down there, is it? Oh.
He's had some bad luck putting today, but that's typical. You're misreading the speed. Oh, they're getting in a huddle there, but I think Ahern has to move his marker out of Parry's line. Well, we'll assume that's the pitch mark left by a ball. Well, that's a good meter, isn't it?
It's a good meter, yes. It's uphill, and it's probably just on the right lip, hitting Fern. As it ran down, it turned to the right. So
when you say probably, you think maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Well, he's One of the very good putters on the tour. I think it's just on the right lip, firm.
Well, it's bogey 4. And as a result, we again have a three-way tie for the lead, and more and more a chance of a playoff.
But there's a fellow up ahead called Smith, who's about a putter length from a birdie on the next hole. But we'll watch Nick Ahern finish off. That's a par 3, one better than Parry. 3 of them now in the lead.
But going to the group playing the 18th, because 2 of the players in this group, including David Grenfell, are at 7 under. Rob Willis is also in this group. He's had the joint best round of the day with Grenfell. They're both 4 under coming home.
You wouldn't call that a birdie chance, would you?
Well, it's safely on. No, it's a downhill putt, right to left breaking, but above water, we could say, I suppose.
Well, it's really not good sense, is it, to aim straight at that flag today with the wind gusting. It's too much trouble, and the target too small altogether, really.
Craig Jones here just in the light rough, and that can create a problem too, not getting enough backspin, but it always seems to do that. When it lands short, it stops. But safely on. It's a good long drive from Robbie Willis.
Came into the pro ranks a bit later than some. 29 when
he did.
Made the decision.
That last little tug of the
yes.
Keep out of the water at all costs. All right, we'll see a bit more of that as we come to the 18th, all the groups following. But here, stalking this putt is a possible leader on his own. Now, we saw him miss one about half this length for a birdie 2 on the previous hole. I wonder if he's forgotten that. Wasn't that good a stroke, though, was it?
Now, our group today, Peter, a lot of balls did that on these greens today, and I don't know whether it's because of the rain or what's happening, but I've seen probably half a dozen or more with Brad King and myself and Elliot Bolt, and now they're Wayne Smith.
Well, it's been very much a pattern of what everyone's been seeing from the leaders, isn't it, Peter? A lot of birdie chances, but very few hold.
Can't remember when I've seen putts missed like that.
Well, Wayne Smith has missed with excellent opportunities at 14 and 15.
Now, why is he taking an iron, Bob?
Well, there is that bunker down there, but to be quite honest, when we played that hole, well, I'm not as long as these young fellas now, but I had to hit a driver off there, and Even Elliot Bolt, who's a very long hitter with the 3-wood, hit the driver, hit the 3-wood. And Nick Ahern here has his driver. It is into the wind. The wind seems to have died down a little bit to what it was earlier today.
Is it possible to reach the green in 2 shots?
No.
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 So why use the driver? So you're going to lay up with the second.
Good. Yes, good question. It may be his straightest club in the bag.
Could be. Could be. You're right. Looks like it is.
Yes. It probably takes away the length of the second shot, so he would maybe hit a 3-iron or a 4-iron even for his second to lay up short of the fairway bunker.
Parry with the driver.
Shot.
Now that's perfectly safe.
Well, here's the aerial of the 15th, the teeing area. Now we can see that little bunker down there on the right. That's what the players are trying to avoid, laying up short of it. But today, into the breeze, then their second shot, maybe 200 metres to this bunker you can see on the right-hand side there. You'll see most of the players have laid up short of that bunker, leaving round about 100 metres, with the pin today cut only, I think, 7 or 8 metres on the green. So it brings in this green side bunker as well, sloping down where you can see the ducks on the left side of the green. But all in all, a real par 5 today, and as we can see, 5.19. So it's playing over its par. Six birdies, 10 bogeys. And I can say I was one of those birdies.
Were you? Having passed that particular 15th and really blew a birdie there. This is the 16th. This is not a par 3. It's a par 4, but pretty narrow. And that's split the fairway.
Yeah.
A long putt for birdie for David Grenfell.
We could be happy to get this one near it. Oh, well, he's done that. Terrific putt from up the top of the green there.
He's got that for a 68. And Rob Willis has this lengthy putt also for birdie. And a share of the lead.
Online.
Online, yes.
Rob Willis has that putt for a 68, which will be the equal best round of the day so far.
Now Craig Jones's putt here is slightly uphill to start with and will move from his right to left. Probably about 3 feet if it's speed putt just to get to the hole. Pretty good. Oh, just straightens out near the hole, but that putt, I think, also is into a bit of grain. So he's judged that well. Well, he should. He's a local. And this one for a 2 under par 70, is it, Jim?
Yes, 70. Following rounds.
Oh, goodness.
Make it 71.
Well, that's
68,
costly.
68, 73, 71.
Whoops.
Oh, don't do it.
The ball. What a blow that was. Now, second shots at the 15th, this par 5. They can't reach the green, but they can get pretty near it. But the fairway gets horribly narrow the nearer they get to the green.
Yeah, he's got to maybe stay left of that bunker, we can see. Looked pretty good there. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's about adjacent to the bunker, or maybe just short of it, as we can see the tongue of rough coming out from our left side of the screen. Harry's second shot. I think, Peter, there must be a bit of wind there still, because they're not worrying about that bunker.
No, right, it's out of range.
Out of range.
Just go back to see Rob Willis finish off his round. 68. Excellent work today. Very consistent progress through the tournament.
th here now, turning back again toward the mount and rising up a little bit too with this second shot. See the green higher than the fairway.
It's a bit of a nasty pin placement here today. It's only cut about 4 meters from the left side of the green. As we get a good shot there. It's pinpoint accuracy here to get the ball near the hole. If you get anywhere left of the hole, it's very dangerous.
That would appear to be the wedge. Short shaft. And of course, the face of the club very lofted. Nice big divot. And nowhere near it. Hard one to judge, though, going up there. I think they think too much about it. The yardage or the meterage and not enough about the elevation. You've got to make an extra allowance for that.
Wayne Smith, probably about 100 meters from where he is. Oh, that's a good one.
Yep.
Another birdie chance for Wayne Smith.
Well, he must be playing well, Peter. He said he hit it close at the 14th and then 15 and now 16.
Peter Wilkins is with the grips coming down 15. Wilco.
Yes, Jim, when the wind must have been in a bit of a shadow a hole or so ago, and Bob Shearer was commenting because it's just gusted up severely in the last couple of moments. And Craig Parry, he's bombed 2 big ones down this 15th to leave himself no more than 100 metres. Nick Ahern, a bit over 120 metres. The breeze, though, still gusting severely. Up ahead, Paul Gow, he dumped 1 in the water off the tee and played 3 and then 4. So he's going to drop a shot here. But it's getting down to the business end.
John Wade with this putt for a 4. Now there's another short putt missed. What is going on? He's missed, what, 3 of them in a row? Adrian Percy from South Australia.
1 over today.
That wind is really gusting there, isn't it?
Yes,
it's exposed to it. It's exposed to the southeast. Did he birdie that? A bit of a smile on his face. He might have. I doubt it, though. I think I'll give him a par. He's a big fellow for a caddy.
Didn't quite sound like a birdie cheer, actually.
The final 3 overnight leaders. Paul Devonport.
He's back a bit here, Peter. He's probably got 140 or 50 metres to the flag from there in this gusting breeze.
That's his iron off the tee, where he sacrificed length, and here's where it counts. That's satisfactory, isn't it?
Yes, safely on. Good shot.
That cup very cheekily down the front of the green near that bunker. An attempt to lure the players into getting caught. Well, it looks very short, but it's about, what, 90 metres?
Oh, no, he'd probably be, excuse me, 120, 115, maybe. Good angle to come into the flag where it's cut today, and particularly left-hander. The breeze is probably, if anything, just coming from left to right as we look at it and into the players, but gusting a little bit.
Nick Ahern must get a 4 here. He's got to really keep up with Parry or ahead of him. No, that won't get it.
Perfect distance, but as we see, pushed the ball.
Parry's turn. Oh, now what's going on? Are they really trying for the flag? Now, surely this one will go in. Perhaps if he aims away from the cup, he might have a better chance. He's missed 2 shorter than this, I suppose, in the last 2 holes. This for 9 under.
Not over there. No, it's had a similar putt to Wayne there, and the ball doesn't break. When you think lining up, you'd say it's got to turn 2 or 3 inches, but it just doesn't.
I think if you wait for him coming off the 18th green, he'll give you that putt.
Well, I don't mean to be rude, but by the look of it, I don't want it.
Back to 15 now. Craig Parry, Nick Ahern and Paul Devonport. Both Parry and Ahern in a share of the lead, with Wayne Smith at 8 under, 1 ahead of Willis, Grenfell and Sendon in what is a very congested leaderboard entering the final few holes of the Coolum Classic for 1999.
We're looking at an extended round, aren't we, Clinton? The odds are on a tie here.
Well, Craig Parry must be near a sprinkler head, I would think, with all this chat going on.
Well, I don't know. He's got to drop it, which means it might run back down the hill and he won't be able to putt. I don't know that I'd worry about standing on a sprinkler head.
Well, his ball may have been in it.
Well, while he makes up his mind, let's move ahead to the 17th. And John Sendon, who was a joint leader at one stage before a disastrous double bogey. His tee shot at 17. It's been a good hole for him this tournament so far. Until now.
Well, twice he's visited the trees on this final 9 here. That's not winning form.
Wayne Smith, 2 under today. Had an even par 72 in the opening round on Thursday. Followed that up with an excellent 66. And now, joint leader.
Well, 17th hole today is a little easier for these players than it has been during the week. With the breeze helping, there's a fairway bunker out there that all these players should be able to hit over.
Well, that part of his game pretty near perfect.
That's a very long one.
Back to the 15th now with Craig Parry.
Well, after dropping it, he didn't, as I thought he might have had it run right down that slope away from the green. So he's still up there where he can putt.
Fortunately, if it runs more than 2 club lengths, Pete, he can, on the second drop, pop it where it landed. So maybe that was what's happened.
This is a putt for a birdie, unlikely one. So he'll have that for a par 5.
Let's move to the final hole now. Michael Campbell with his second shot from the bunker to the right of the fairway.
It didn't sound right. Oh, look out. Happily stopped.
Paul Davenport. Birdie putt. No. Downhill, pull that left all the way. Still a bit of work to do to get his par.
Now this could be a winning stroke here. Having watched Parry, he should know the line. This for a birdie and the lead. Oh, what did I say? That sends him to 9 under.
Will this be the tournament that Nick Ahern breaks through and wins, as everyone has been expecting over the last few weeks, couple of months? 4 top 10 finishes in a row, and now our leader with 3 holes to play. Paul Davenport for his par. He remains at 6 under, 1 over today. 3 behind our leader, Nick O'Hearn. Back to our winner of the Johnny Walker Classic earlier this year, Michael Campbell, with his 3rd at the 18th.
Well, pretty straightforward chip here for Michael Campbell. Not too much hidden that he can't see ahead of him. Just a little chip and run with a 7 or 8 iron. Well, hit that one a bit firm.
Parry 1 behind, even if he holds this, and he should. That's a par 5 for him. Trailing by 1 now.
So they make their way to the 16th. Bob Shearer, take us through this hole.
Certainly, Clinton. Well, it's we've seen all the players, most of the players, hit an iron off this tee because of those 2 bunkers you see on the right, and this is about the area they're aiming for right here. Leaving about 100 metres uphill to a green that you could almost call a pulpit, I would think. You can see the darker green around the front left-hand side is a very steep slope. Pin cut over on the left side today. But really, it is a birdie hole, but look, playing 4.6. So it's catching out a few people. 10 bogeys, 7 birdies. Tricky hole, left to right breeze today. Trees down the left-hand side. So as I said, keep away from those 2 bunkers off the tee, and then it's only a 100-metre pitch or so, but a bit of a sleeper, Peter. This one, you can get into a bit of trouble on this hole.
So it's Nick O'Hearn now. He'll be first up, and he's got his nose in front. There's a little bit of a weight on the fairway occupied. Oh.
Yeah, we saw the tee shot of John Sendon work its way into the trees, and it looks very awkward here for him.
Gee, that's putting it mildly.
Yes, surprised they found the ball.
That's horrible.
Well, they've got some terrific marshals here, Clinton, out on the course. I must say they do have their work cut out on most occasions. This Coolum Hyatt Regency course.
It's interesting here, the wind blowing the reeds there, of course, he loses sight of the ball.
Yeah.
Now, did he get out?
Back to the tee on the 16th, Nick O'Hearn.
Now, this is interesting. Is that a... Looks
Driver,
like a,
that's his driver.
looks like the driver. Must be Strader's club.
Can't get straighter than that.
Well, that's... you saw a little yellow mark in the fairway there. That's about 60 metres to the front of the green.
That was a brave shot.
Yes.
Another good one.
Now Michael Campbell trying to save par at the 18th. So not a good finish for him. He'll complete the tournament at 5 under after an even par round of 72 today. Started with a 4 under 68 on Thursday. Finishes at 5 under, 4 behind our leader, Nick O'Hearn. Craig Parry is 1 behind Nick O'Hearn.
Iron, Bob.
Iron, yes. It's,
not daring to use the driver.
No, Craig shapes it left to right to start with on his stock shot anyway, but he can turn it over. So
Down,
he just,
down, he said.
yeah, he's just worried about the trap. That maybe this hole sets up a little better for the left-hander, Nick Ahern.
Well, the disastrous day for John Sendon continues. We saw him get out of the trees, but it's gone too far to the other side.
Peter Wilkins.
Yeah.
Peter Wilco, what's happening there?
Down the 16th, Peter, is that what you're referring to?
Well,
Because
we're watching John Sendon in trouble. We imagined you were there right by his side, but you're not, are you?
I'm a little way away from that, Peter.
Okay.
My apologies.
No apology necessary, but we can't see too clearly what trouble he's in, except he's surrounded by trees.
He's over on the right now, and well, there's a good view, but the pin is cut on the right-hand side of the green today. He's just going to try and hit this one up low. Well, the gap you can see right in front of him. Try and get it up on the front left-hand corner of the green there, but it's...
Well, this is very, well, tragic, I suppose, because he did birdie the 16th hole, which took him to 8 under. Now, at that moment, he was back sharing the lead where he was earlier in the day, around about the 9th and 10th holes. But this is disaster again. That's 3 he's played.
A real case of what if for John Sendon. Had an air swing on Thursday on the 5th, which cost him a stroke, and today he's had a couple of problems as we have a look at Wayne Smith now, one behind Nick Ahern.
Well, can he hold that?
Well, it's just a bit further than the other ones, Pete. Might be a chance.
Might be a better chance.
Back to 16. This is a beautiful hole. Behind our camera angle here is the awe-inspiring backdrop of Mount Coolum. That's what they'll be looking at, but with a greater focus on the green. Paul Devonport to play first.
Probably a good 110 metres. Well, Wilco, you're down there. About 110 metres does he have?
Pretty much exactly spot on, Bob. It's a little peach of a hole, this one, the 16th for that elevated green. And Nick Ahern's hit a tremendous shot. Parry equally good. And Devonport a bit shy of that, but still with an opportunity to get it close. Shot.
We'll stay there. That's a good shot. A peach of a hole. Probably if you're not playing it, it's a peach of a hole.
Here again, we're in a different part of the course. We don't hear so many birds, but we can certainly hear all those cicadas. So don't adjust your set. It's really nature calling. Quite ear-piercing, isn't it? Needs a 3. No, not quite up there.
Back we go to John Sendon with his 4th shot on the 17th. He'll save himself some trouble there, but he is likely to slip back to 7 under. This is John Wade on the 17th.
Yeah, 3 metal. Interesting. No. 220 metres to fly that bunker. And he's done that easily.
The 16th again. Now, Nick O'Hearn with this beautiful drive there. He drove right past the bunkers. And as you see, very near the green. He could lock the door here if he puts this close. Well, it's sort of semi-close.
It's not bad from there, Pete. The only thing you don't need to do is miss it left. But got a good putt at it from there.
Now, Wayne Smith is lining up his birdie putt on the 17th. This a chance to join Nick O'Hearn at 9 under and a share of the lead. She's had plenty of tries, Peter Thompson. He really has.
Well, this is the least likely of the putts that he's had over the last 4 holes. He's really got to make a guess here of the amount it will turn to the left. He's going uphill a wee bit as well. But, well, there's a big element of chance always in putting. And it could go his way. And then he would join the lead. Always, I thought, on the low side. Putter really has tormented him. I think he realizes it, that it's really deprived him of the event. That's an ordinary par, which is not doing him a lot of good.
Grant Dodd lining up his par putt. 1 over today. Grant Dodd currently in a tie for 12th at 4 under. Remains 5 behind our leader Nick O'Hearn.
Just one more then to clean it up here at the 17th green, and then we can have a look at the 16th. This is Sendon for a 5.
He falls back to 7 under, and we go to the 16th green. Craig Parry, a long birdie putt to try and join Nick O'Hearn at 9 under.
Well, the fault was not the putt, it was the second shot, which didn't get up to the hole. So he stays at 8 under, at the mercy of O'Hearn.
The beautiful sight of Mount Coolum shadowing this hole. And an important putt here. This for a 2-stroke lead for Nick O'Hearn. And you would think he would be, might not be caught if he can get 2 clear with 2 to play.
Well, they hold a nice one back at the 15th. Just on the right lip, this putt. Needs to be hit firm. No, didn't hit it.
That's Percy, second shot, 17th. Oh, very smart too. That'll be a 3.
Paul Davenport for his par. Stay at 6 under.
Back to the 17th, Paul Gow. Currently at 5 under for the tournament. One over today.
Uh-oh. Costly bunker.
John Wade, second shot at the 17th. Fairway club off the tee. And that's pretty good.
And Peter, take us through the 17th.
Well, this hole climbs up from the tees and turns a little bit to the right as it climbs. There's 3 bunkers there to be worried about with the tee shot, but then a pretty generous fairway. But the green well above the fairway, so that the cup, of course, is out of sight. Not so easy to judge the distance of the pitch, and it is a pitch, 367 metres, not a long par 4, and the wind behind. So it's averaging just about par. 8 birdies there have been. A few people gone to the trees, like John Sendon. Here again, the driver. Well, I must say, he hits it awfully straight. That's good rhythm. He does the same thing exactly every time he drives. Whatever you do with the driver, you've got to repeat, repeat, repeat.
Paul Davenport with the driver as well. The gallery like it.
I think he should stick to it as well.
It's a good long one, that one. Yes.
The iron shots have been getting him into the trees. Well, there we look up ahead to see it's just a short uphill pitch shot from there.
And now Craig Parry, who has played in all but one of the 9 Coolum Classics so far. And he has his favourites in the gallery. And right alongside Nick O'Hearn on the 17th.
All safely down the fairway. Ultimate hole. Now we saw Paul Gow hit his second shot into the greenside bunker here at the 17th, and this is his 3rd shot. It's not too bad, but he couldn't have seen the base of the flag or the cup from where he was down there.
Now John Wade with a birdie putt here at the 17th, a chance to go to 7 under. He really has been thereabouts today, but he's missed a couple of birdie putts. What about this one?
That one will miss on the right. It's about a cup outside the left of the hole from where he was.
He remains 3 behind Nick O'Hearn. This is Paul Gow looking for his par. back-to-back 69s on Thursday and Friday. Today, perhaps, will be disappointed, no doubt, to be +1 heading to the 17th, and he has that for par.
Yeah, and this one's going to be a little bit of a slider to his right. One must pick the line and the weight or speed to hit.
It was a better putt than the previous one, though. He did have half a chance. But that doesn't affect the leaders. Well, Smith is on the 18th tee now, and Ahern and Parry waiting on this green to clear. As Percy shapes up for a birdie 3. Could make a nice difference to his paycheck if he holds this.
He's done well.
To 7 under now for Adrian Percy. As we head back the 17th. Although we'll actually skip ahead to have a look at Wayne Smith.
Well, he's negotiated the first part of this dangerous 18th hole. Drive on the fairway.
How difficult to get a birdie here, Bob, on the 18th?
I can almost say if you hit it near this pin, you've pulled your second shot left.
Made a mistake.
Yes, you've made a mistake.
This is likely to go near. He's very astute with the wedge. Going uphill to this green. As I thought, that's pretty deadly.
To that difficult 18th, John Sendon with his approach. Currently at 7 under. And we'll have a very long birdie putt as we head back to 17 and Craig Parry.
He's got to match that shot of O'Hearn's to really have a chance of winning. Straight now is the right length. No.
No.
Again, woefully short. 2 mistakes there. 17, 16, 17.
Wayne Smith's second shot. 18th. Oh, that's a beauty. That is a good shot. Outside chance.
Devonport going uphill. He went beyond.
He will be going downhill now.
He will. But probably Parry's shot scared him a bit, but Parry was really 1 club short there. Unusual sight, isn't it, to see people, spectators, walking on the fairways. It doesn't happen many places these days. It was common in the 50s and 60s. Now, of course, the fairways are roped. Everybody's got to keep behind the ropes. One of the nice things about this event, people can walk with their hero.
Adrian Percy now with his tee shot on the final hole. Currently at 7 under, 2 behind Nick O'Hearn.
It wasn't such a good shot.
Well, today that bunker's about 230 metres from the tee. Maybe 225. The tee markers are up a little bit today. And it's down breeze, so the players have to miss or go left of the first right-hand bunker. John Wade with the 3, Metalwood.
That's well back though, isn't it?
Yes.
Now back to Craig Parry in the 17th. What's it look like, Peter Wilkins?
Well, he's got a uphill stance. He should be able to get it close, really, to Sealy's par.
Paul Gow looked like he was all that happy after bogeying the 17th.
Oh, yeah.
That could be left. Well, if it stays up, it's still a very awkward stance. All right.
A tight finish looms here at the Coolum Classic at the Hyatt Regency Resort at Mount Coolum. And on the 18th green, a long birdie putt for John Sendon. I think he'll describe it as being an interesting round. Had a little bit of everything in there. Had a share for the lead at one point. And is likely to finish with a 71 to remain at 7 under. But he'll be thinking it could have been a lot better. 2 trips to the woods cost him. He finishes with rounds of 67, 71 and 71. And a 7 under 3-round total. Repeating if you weren't with us yesterday, washed out. So it's just a 54-hole tournament. There were some thoughts that perhaps we might not play today at all. Such was the torrent that we had yesterday, and there were some thoughts that they might have to just try and dry out a hole today and have a playoff between the 3 overnight leaders of Parry, Devonport and O'Hearn. But this Sunshine Coast weather has cleared up.
I can say, Clinton, the golf course was in great shape this morning.
Which is remarkable, isn't it?
The fairways, when we saw them yesterday afternoon, most of them were just covered in water, and I think I took 1 drop from casual water in a fairway today. So the drainage is very good here. And we've got Grant Dodd here trying to drain a putt. And a lot of players have been fooled by that one. It goes back to the right a little short of that hole.
Back to 17. Craig Parry with this to par the hole.
Well, I think that's his chance gone of winning. That was a bad mistake there, that second shot. So he slips back now 2 behind O'Hearn, who has a putt for a birdie right here. And of course he's by far the best of our putters, at least this week, and I think for the last month or so. If we had statistics about the number of putts holed, I reckon he'd win. And this is very holeable. Now, while this is happening, of course, Wayne Smith is on the 18th green, and we won't miss his putt because it's now a fight between Wayne Smith and Nick O'Hearn. 2 players from Perth in Western Australia. That's it. What a beautiful 3 coming at a time like this. You can afford to smile, I think, now.
He leads by 2, at least for the moment, as we head to the 18th, where Wayne Smith has a very long birdie putt.
Well, a chance.
Oh, what a good try.
Well, disappointment for him. He will stay at 8 under if he can complete that for a par.
Well, Very important little putt he's got there for the pocketbook anyway.
Grant Dodd. Pants at half mast. He putted down to there, didn't he? That's not his second shot. This is his par putt.
Par putt.
Thank goodness.
A 73 today for Grant Dodd. He started the tournament in fine fashion with that 67 on Thursday and even past 72 on Friday. But today, a 73 to finish at 4 under. Now, Wayne Smith to remain at 8 under here.
Very important little putt, Clinton. There's 5 guys on 7 under.
He really puts the ball well back in his stance, doesn't he? I think this is a bit of a flaw in the setup. Look at that, nearly missed it.
Right in the bottom.
So he finishes the tournament at 8 under. But his chances of making the playoff depend on Nick O'Hearn completing this final hole with a double bogey 6. And the way he's been playing, that is unlikely. But first,
now, there's a good look at what the player sees with the second shot. Daunting, isn't it?
John Wade.
That's the best we've seen.
Yep, terrific shot.
You really need a long drive here to make this shot, well, easy. If you're firing at it from 200 metres, it's not on. Now, this is where you don't want to be, in the shaggy rough on a slope like that. Well, he did something very sensible there. He just ignored the flag and got it onto the green.
Adrian Percy's drive, I think we thought was in that first bunker, but it's not. He's hit he's hit a very long drive, actually. A bit unlucky to fall into this bunker, but if the lie's okay, good angle to come in, as you can see. Pin just in the middle of the swept sign at the back there.
Well done.
Very nicely done.
He's been placed between 19th and 24th at the last 3 tour events. He's headed for a top 10 finish here. Currently in a tie for 3rd at 7 under as he makes his way down this beautiful finishing hole. That's the situation, though. Nick O'Hearn with a 2-stroke lead.
Quite a good gallery here today.
Yeah, pretty good, isn't it?
Sunshine came out and the people came out.
Now, what do you think Nick O'Hearn will do? Driver again?
Oh, of course.
Well, you didn't have to be very knowledgeable, did you? I don't think he's got another club he can use off a T-peg. But it's pretty flawless, isn't it? He doesn't look that elegant, we must have to say, but the elegance doesn't mean too much. But he repeats exactly. Well, they're giving him high praise, and that's why that's magnificent, absolutely magnificent. For a fellow with a 2-stroke lead, he might have been tempted to take a 5-iron off the tee and play it as a par 5, but no, he showed a lot of courage there.
Now, Paul Davenport. It's the ball right to left, so this could get him well down here if he gets it right. And he has.
Now, alas for Parry. I think really we can say he's blown another one. Just 2 weak pitch shots to 16 and 17 has robbed him of a chance of a tie and playoff.
Little missed putt at 14.
Yes. Now that is short, isn't it? Comparatively speaking. 20 metres or more behind the others. Well, that's the last tee shot we'll see in this Hyatt Coolum Classic.
Those umbrellas were needed yesterday, but
Not for the sun.
no. As we headed,
That was only for 17 of us, Clinton, that were out there.
what was your tee-off time again, Bob?
6:40.
To the 18th green, Paul Gow. He started the day at 6 under.
That's a nice putt. Very nicely done. Well, he's had an adventurous day. Not quite good enough to win, but it may come in the future. Percy, perhaps this would be the best finish he's had up to now, but maybe not the biggest prize he's ever had, but it's likely that it is.
4th year as a pro. He was in a tie for 6th at the Ford Open earlier this year, which was a good result for him.
That would be, yes. Well, he'd be thinking just a couple of putts here, never mind trying to be flash in the hole of 3. 2 putts from there is pretty good.
Ooh.
Now a danger putt.
John Wade has had plenty of birdie putts today. Hasn't been able to make all that many of them, and is even with the card today, remaining at 6 under. Can he finally break through here on the 18th?
Well, most guys have been missing this putt on the right. Looks like it should break left. They always prove you wrong, don't they?
Well, I wouldn't have
that wasn't a very
him
good
to hole it. He doesn't look too good with the putter to me, but nice tournament.
Finishes with a 72 today, 6 under overall for the 31-year-old from Melbourne, who has won in conditions like this before. Bobby won the 1992 and 1994 Vanuatu Opens. Be nice and tropical.
It sounds good, doesn't it? I don't think the greens over there would be quite as good as these. Yes, beautifully holed.
A 71 today for Adrian Percy to finish at 7 under, currently in a tie for 3rd. And it's a 74 for Paul Gow.
Well, that's the penultimate group finished. And now the last. And Nick O'Hearn with a 2-shot lead, but Parry, I think, will be to play first, being the shortest of the 3 off the tee. He's having a shot at it. He's firing straight at it.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it only just got across that wall that was pretty daring. Well, of course, he's got not much to lose, has he? Nico Hearn's got a lot to lose if he tries to get at the flag and just hits slightly. But he's not about to do that. I can see him looking now, right at the clubhouse.
He certainly is.
He'll hit it into that big, fat part of the green to his right. And take 3 or 4 putts, he'll still win.
Not even looking at the flag. Not a problem.
Well, he's in 3-putt territory, but even 3 putts would win for him. It's always nice to see a winner do something spectacular to win. But really, he had no choice there but to play safe.
Paul Devonport now with his approach.
Oh, a little bit of Richie Benno on that.
So the walk up the 18th fairway now, and for the first time in his professional career, Nico Hearn will receive the plaudits for what should be a first place finish. He's been threatening to do it for a while, Bob. 4 top 10 finishes in a row. We were saying that he's going to break through.
The last 4 weeks, obviously, been the form horse of the Australasian Tour, I suppose you could say, and as Peter Thompson said earlier, probably been putting the best, but also playing the best. And it's just great to see this. The talk around the place the last couple of days was, will this be the one that he breaks through in? And, well, he hasn't done it yet, but if anybody can 2-putt from there, he can, and he can 3-putt. So
warm applause for Nico Hearn.
Now, normally he has his caddy, his wife caddy for him.
that's right. Yes.
But she's not doing the hard work this week. Probably deserved a good rest after a hard year. But she can't be too far away, we hope.
Well, he also did, well, in his standards, maybe not great, but I think very well in Europe this year, in his first year on the European Tour. I say kept his card, but kept it quite easily. He won many pounds over there, so he's had a really good year. Almost burst onto our scene, really, in the last 18
He's not young,
months.
is he? He's 28, so a late comer. I don't know what we should make of this fact that the top 2 people come from Western Australia.
There's been a few of them this tour already. The young amateur Brett Rumford winning a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, there's another one. It'd be nice to have some more events out there, wouldn't it? We have the Vines, of course, which comes up in the end of January. Well, if you count his paces, that's a lot more than a cricket pitch. That's a cricket pitch plus a little run-in. Now, Wayne Smith, of course, is sitting back or standing back somewhere, but really he has no hope that Hearn would make such a mess of it that he'd be playing off. As I said, he's got 3 putts to win. Doesn't waste much time. Once he's crouched over it, he wants to hit it. So here it comes. Running downhill all the way. Not quite.
It's just a little slower down there than most players have thought. Normally, I would say 2 days ago, that ball would have almost gone past the hole, but pretty safe from there.
Well, he can lick his lips now and stand back and watch these other 2 fight for the minor places.
A couple of important putts coming up in terms of prize money here. Paul Devonport a chance to move into a tie for third.
It's a big tie too, isn't it? What are there, 5 already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on 7 under. It's a better putt. But again, nobody seems to pick that, Bob.
No, it's
slow putt, relatively speaking.
slow putt down that hill. Yeah.
A good tournament for Paul Devonport, having missed the last 5 cuts by a stroke each time. He finishes with a 73 on the final day to finish at 6 under for the New Zealander. And now we look for Craig Parry here. A birdie putt, a chance to join Wayne Smith at 8 under at a tie for second.
Well, I suppose we don't really know what this putt's going to do, Peter. We've seen nobody here all day.
Nobody's putted from over there in history. Anyway, this is really a putt that doesn't mean an awful lot to Parry, but nevertheless he'll be trying to hold it, I'm sure. Like everybody else, he's just misread the slope here. If there is a slope, perhaps he allowed for a little turn to the right, and it didn't come.
As it was last year, a tie for third for Craig Parry. What a consistent tour he's having. Winner of the Ford Open and 3 third placings. The Players' Championship, the PGA Championship, and now again here at the Coolum Classic. Nick Ahern can afford a couple from here. Our leader by 2, and this for par at the last. To complete the round at 3 under and the tournament at 10 under.
Well, all right. Yes.
The final tournament of the century sees the breakthrough win for a new star. Nick Ahern, the 28-year-old West Australian, writes his name into the history books as the last winner of a PGA tournament of the century. At 10 under, 3-round total, 71, 66 and 69, and he's pretty happy. And he was very consistent, Peter Thompson.
And he struck a big blow for left-handers, didn't he? They don't get much of a go. Anyway, we did predict that he would be the one that Parry would have to worry about. And it turned out to be so.
The beautiful setting at the Mount Coolum Resort. Wayne Smith was the runner-up, 2 strokes behind Nick Ahern. He's standing by with Peter Wilkins.
Yes, Clinton, the honours with Nick Ahern, but you'd be satisfied with your work today, Wayne. Congratulations.
Thanks, Peter. Yeah, I was quite happy. I played very, very solidly. Played well all week. Just didn't make the crucial putts at the right time today, but Nick's been knocking on the door for a while, so it's good for golf that he's won.
And you got away to a flying start there, 2 and 3. Did you feel as though you could get there?
Yeah, no, I felt really, really good today. The putter felt good early, and I just had a good feeling, but unfortunately, just, you know, I hit a couple of putts that I thought were good putts, but, you know, they didn't go in, so that's golf, unfortunately.
Well, you've had a 3rd place and now a 2nd place here. Maybe next time, one better.
Yeah, I'll keep coming back, I guess. It's been good to me. I can't complain. I enjoy the golf course.
Good luck.
Thanks, Peter.
So Wayne Smith there with Peter Wilkins. A round of 70 for Smith today to finish at 8 under the card, 2 behind our winner, Nick Ahern. Time now for the presentation of the 1999 Coolum Classic, and down to the 18th green with Jim Maxwell.
This is a very unique event. As you know, it's a pro-am. We've had amateurs up here who have put themselves through torture for some of them. A lot of them had a great time, but I particularly want to thank the players for allowing us to come along and play alongside them for this week. It is what makes this week so special. So on behalf of all the amateurs and the sponsors, I'd like to thank all the professionals for putting up with us this week. Thank you. To the ABC, they've been great supporters of this event. To Alan Pridmore, who is the director, thank you, Alan, for putting up with some trying conditions yesterday, but today it's been superb, and I thank you for your continued support. To all of the media and the press guys that have been out the back, again, I thank you very much for giving us great press coverage during the week. And finally, I'd like to thank the staff from IMG, to Carolyn Roach and Dallas O'Brien, Kerry Marcella, Jane Young, Lynn Owens in the media centre. Again, you've been wonderful. I thank you from IMG's point of view. In closing, I'd like to wish everybody a very safe and happy Christmas. I thank you for all the support of IMG's events during the year, and we look forward to seeing you in the year 2000. Thank you.
And now to the presentation. Daryl Henry from Schweppes Cotties is going to present the trophy and the cheque to the winner, Nick Ahern.
Thank you, Martin. I'd first like to endorse all of the words you've said of encouragement and all of the way in which the course was put together. Martin Jolly and his team from IMG deserve a special congratulations for the effective way of managing a tournament under very difficult conditions. To Kamal and the team at the Hyatt Coolum, this resort continues to be a first-class venue for this tournament. To Bob Schmidt, course superintendent, Bob deserves a special mention. Most of his team last night spent all of the dark hours putting together this course after the deluge yesterday. I would also like... Thank you. I'd also like to thank the many volunteers. They work very hard to make sure these tournaments work effectively. And to you, the crowd, although we've not had all days to play, I congratulate you for coming out. Thank you. Schweppes is involved in golf at all levels, and this week brings together a unique experience of amateurs and professionals playing together. It's a pity that yesterday's round was washed out, but it did not at all diminish the enjoyment of the amateur players. My congratulations go to all players. We've had a very memorable and experience in golf. My real admiration, though, is for the professionals. The very high standard of golf we've seen today indicates the very, very nature of professional golf. And to Nick Ahern, Nick, congratulations on this, I understand, to be your inaugural win. Finally, from Schweppes, a happy festive season. Thank you very much.
And now to that official moment for Nick Ahern, the presentation of the cheque and the trophy from Daryl Henry.
Firstly, I'd like to thank the sponsors of the tournament, namely Schweppes, for your involvement. It's fantastic that you put your name up for the tournament every year. The professionals really do appreciate that. To IMG for the running of the event, it was fantastic. The PGA Tour especially. Yesterday was a real trying time for everyone, and you handled it extremely well, and it was great that we could get out again today. To my wife, Alana, for putting up with me over the last few years and you know, hanging on in there with me. It's been fantastic support from you, and I really do appreciate it. To my family and friends back home, thanks again for your support. As I say, it's been a trying time, but we finally managed to get there. To the volunteers of the event, you just do a fantastic job, especially the marshals out there on the golf course today. Thanks very much. And look forward again coming back next year. Thank you.
Yes, a terrific win. The 28-year-old from Perth, Nick Ahern, after 4 top 10 finishes in a row, he really was shaping up as though he was going to break through, and Peter Thompson, he has done so. 10 under, a 2-stroke win, and just another consistent round from Nick Ahern. And I guess that's the buzzword with Nick Ahern, consistency.
Well, he is that, but he really should be very grateful to both Parry, I think, and Wayne Smith, who really were very kind to him, I thought. The whole story was about the putting, really, and Nick Ahern held those 2 wonderful putts, one at 15, one at 17, which won him the event, and very worthily so. The rest of his game, I think, is very impressive. Doesn't look so elegant, but it's very impressive.
And no doubt after those top 10 finishes, the equal second at the Australian Open, a real chance now for Nick Ahern to go on from here. This is a good platform.
I think so. He's already established himself in Europe on that circuit. Next year should be a good year for him.
Well, here's how it finished. The leaderboard for the 1999 Coolum Classic played over 54 holes after yesterday's rain interruption forced the third day's play to be abandoned. Nick O'Hearn, a two-stroke winner from fellow West Australian, also from Mount Lawley over there in the west, Wayne Smith at 8 under the card. Wayne Smith with a round of 70 today. And then 5 players tying at 7 under, 3 behind Nick O'Hearn. Adrian Percy, a good result there. He's been showing some good form. Craig Parry, who was also tied for third here last year and again has been Mr. Consistency this year on the PGA Tour. David Grenfell, a good result for he at 7 under. John Sendon, an up and down round today. Gee, might have been thinking that he should have been alongside of Nick O'Hearn at 10 under, and an excellent round today from Rob Willis at 7 under ahead of John Wade and Paul Devonport at 6 under. And John Sendon, he could consider himself, I guess not unlucky because he did it himself, but those 2 trips to the trees on the back 9, gee, they were costly.
They were, and he's got nobody to blame but himself for that. No, he's a very fine player, but those 2 slips really cost him his chance.
And a word, just a final word on Craig Parry, again in contention at a tournament, but I think as you said it late in the round there, he's just given another one away.
I'm afraid to say that's the fact of the matter, but that won't hurt him, goodness me. He's got a lot of great years ahead of him, and maybe a big major one, I think, before he's finished. He nearly won the British Open this year, and who knows, next year he might be successful at St Andrews.
It might be a big year 2000 for him. Peter, thanks very much for your company this weekend. Been great having you back with us on ABC Golf.
Well, I think we do golf as good as anyone, don't we?
Indeed we do. Thanks very much to Peter Thompson. Hope you enjoyed our coverage as well. We've got plenty more sport ahead for you on ABC, including the soccer every Sunday afternoon. And don't forget the Hopman Cup tennis starting early in the new year. But it's Nick O'Hearn's day today from the 1999 Coolum Classic. It's a very good bye.